The Donkey Kong game series is a long-running franchise developed and published by Nintendo. The series has evolved significantly since the release of the original arcade game in 1981, with numerous sequels, spin-offs, and remakes released across various Nintendo consoles and handhelds. Some notable entries in the series include Donkey Kong Country, which introduced the character's sidekick Diddy Kong and featured groundbreaking graphics for its time, and Donkey Kong 64, which was the first 3D platformer in the series. Donkey Kong 1981. Donkey Kong is a classic arcade game that was released in 1981 by Nintendo. It is widely considered to be one of the most influential and important games of all time, helping to popularize the platformer genre and establishing Nintendo as a major player in the video game industry. The game features a character named Jumpman, later renamed Mario, who must navigate a series of levels in order to rescue his girlfriend, Pauline, from the clutches of a giant gorilla named Donkey Kong. The levels are structured as a series of platforms, ladders, and obstacles that Jumpman must navigate, while avoiding hazards such as rolling barrels, fireballs, and gaps in the floor. In each level, Donkey Kong stands at the top of the screen, hurling barrels down towards Jumpman. The player must jump over these barrels and climb ladders to reach higher levels, all while avoiding hazards and collecting bonuses such as prizes and power-ups. Overall, Donkey Kong is a timeless classic that helped to define the video game industry in its early years, and remains a beloved game to this day.
Donkey Kong Jr. 1982. Donkey Kong Jr. is a sequel to the original Donkey Kong game, released in 1982. In this game, the roles are reversed, and the player controls Donkey Kong's son, who must rescue his father from the clutches of Mario. The game is structured as a series of levels, each of which is a jungle or forest-themed obstacle course. The player must avoid hazards such as enemies, traps, and falling objects, while collecting fruits and keys that unlock cages containing pieces of Donkey Kong's cage. At the end of each level, Donkey Kong Jr. must use the keys he has collected to unlock the cage and release his father. Once all 4 pieces of the cage are collected and assembled, the game is won. In addition to the basic gameplay, Donkey Kong Jr. introduces several new elements not present in the original game. These include new enemies and hazards, such as snapping jaws and electric sparks, as well as new gameplay mechanics, such as ropes that the player can climb and swing on. Donkey Kong Jr. is a fun and challenging sequel to the original game, with new gameplay elements and a fresh perspective on the classic Donkey Kong characters.
Donkey Kong 3 1983. Donkey Kong 3 is the third game in the Donkey Kong series, released in 1983. Unlike the previous 2 games, which focused on platforming gameplay, Donkey Kong 3 is a shooter game. In this game, the player controls a character named Stanley, who must protect his greenhouse from Donkey Kong, who has invaded the garden and is causing chaos by kicking apart the flowers and plants. You must shoot insect repellent at Donkey Kong to keep him at bay, while also avoiding the various enemies that appear on screen, such as bees and birds. The game features a unique control scheme, where the player uses 2 buttons to move Stanley left and right and a 3rd button to shoot the insecticide. Overall, Donkey Kong 3 is a unique and fun entry in the Donkey Kong series, with its focus on shooting gameplay and unique control scheme. While it was not as successful as the previous 2 games in the series, it remains a beloved classic among fans of retro gaming.
Donkey Kong Jr. Math 1983. Donkey Kong Jr. Math is an educational video game released by Nintendo in 1983 for the Nintendo Entertainment System (NES). As the name suggests, the game is focused on teaching math skills to players in a fun and interactive way. The game features 2 modes, Calculate and Select. In Calculate mode, the player is presented with a math problem and must use Donkey Kong Jr. to climb up vines and select the correct answer from a group of numbers. In Select mode, the player must use Donkey Kong Jr. to collect objects with numbers on them in a specific order to solve a math problem. The game can be played by 1 or 2 players, with the option to compete against each other or work together to solve problems. The game also includes a math table feature, which allows players to practice addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division with interactive tables. This game a unique and engaging educational game that combines fun gameplay with valuable math skills.
Donkey Kong Country 1994. Donkey Kong Country is a platformer video game released in 1994. The game was a major success and is often credited with revitalizing the Donkey Kong franchise and pushing the limits of what was possible on the SNES. The game follows the adventures of Donkey Kong and his sidekick Diddy Kong as they embark on a quest to recover their stolen banana hoard from the evil Kremlin King K. Orul. The game features a variety of levels, each with unique themes and challenges, including jungle, minecart, and underwater levels. The gameplay is focused on platforming, with the player controlling either Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong as they run, jump, and attack their way through each level. The game also features hidden bonus areas and collectibles, such as bananas and KONG letters, which can be used to unlock additional content and secrets. One of the standout features of Donkey Kong Country is its use of pre-rendered 3D graphics, which gave the game a unique visual style and allowed for more detailed and immersive environments. Its memorable characters, challenging gameplay, and unique visual style have made it a favorite among fans of retro gaming, and it remains a classic title that is worth revisiting today.
Diddy Kong Racing 1997. Diddy Kong Racing is a racing video game released by Rare for the Nintendo 64 console in 1997. The game features characters from the Donkey Kong universe, including Diddy Kong and his friends, as they compete in a variety of racing challenges. The game includes various modes, including Adventure Mode, which is the main single-player campaign, time trial, and multiplayer. In Adventure Mode, the player controls Diddy Kong and must race against other characters in order to collect golden balloons and ultimately defeat the game's main antagonist, Whizpig. The game features a variety of vehicles, including cars, hovercrafts, and planes, which the player can use to navigate different terrains and challenges. Diddy Kong Racing also features various power-ups and weapons that can be collected and used to gain an advantage over opponents during races. These include homing missiles, speed boosts, and defensive shields. The game's multiplayer mode allows up to 4 players to race against each other using split screen, and also includes various battle and arena modes. Overall, Diddy Kong Racing is a classic and beloved racing game that stands out for its unique blend of characters, vehicles, and gameplay mechanics. Its memorable characters, colorful graphics, and fun multiplayer modes have made it a fan favorite over the years, and it remains a classic title that is worth revisiting today.
Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2006. Mario vs. Donkey Kong is a puzzle platformer video game released by Nintendo for the Game Boy Advance in 2004. The game is a spiritual successor to the original Donkey Kong game and features Mario as he attempts to rescue a group of Mini Mario toys from Donkey Kong. The gameplay of Mario vs. Donkey Kong is divided into several levels, each of which consists of a series of challenges that the player must navigate. These challenges are primarily puzzle-based and require the player to use various objects and tools to create a path for the Mini Mario toys to follow. The game also features platforming segments, where the player controls Mario as he jumps and avoids obstacles. The game's graphics are colorful and detailed, with well-animated sprites and charming character designs. The sound and music are also memorable, with catchy tunes and classic sound effects that harken back to the original Donkey Kong game. Overall, Mario vs. Donkey Kong is a fun and challenging puzzle platformer that provides a fresh take on the classic Donkey Kong formula. Its unique mechanics, charming graphics, and catchy music have made it a fan favorite over the years, and it remains a beloved title in the Mario and Donkey Kong franchises.
Donkey Kong Jungle Climber 2007. Donkey Kong Jungle Climber is a platform game developed by Nintendo for the Nintendo DS handheld console. In the game, players control the iconic character Donkey Kong as he climbs his way through various levels of jungle-themed environments. The gameplay involves using the stylus and buttons to navigate Donkey Kong through the levels, avoiding obstacles and enemies while collecting bananas and other items. The game also features a variety of power-ups and abilities that can be obtained by collecting special items scattered throughout the levels. One unique feature of Donkey Kong Jungle Climber is its use of dual screens. players can use the top screen to see a zoomed-out view of the level, while the bottom screen shows a more detailed view of Donkey Kong and his surroundings. This allows for more precise navigation and a better understanding of the level layout. The game also includes a multiplayer mode where up to 4 players can compete against each other in various mini-games, such as racing to collect the most bananas or battling to knock each other off of platforms. What is your favorite among Donkey Kong series?